Today, about 200,000 female corrections officers work round the clock, invisible to the public, in lockdown facilities.
You never know when an inmate's got a shank and they're just going to walk up behind you and stick it right in your back.
We're not trying to be sexually assaulted by our coworkers, especially our supervisors. I was assaulted numerous times. Every time he'd come in, he'd put his hand down my shirt. He'd reach over.
He's trying to grab me. He's trying to put his arms around me. He's trying to grab my breast.
One day we stepped in this one room, and when he stepped in, he flipped the light off.
I was afraid to report it. I was afraid. I was ashamed.
I once mentioned anything about the sexual harassment. I didn't want to be humiliated with my coworkers. Didn't want to lose my job, my family.
We obtained a copy of the investigation report. It concludes that not only was the claim unsubstantiated, but that Sergeant Harper had been falsely accused.
These organizations cannot investigate themselves. Somebody in Human Resources says, well, he says A and she says B. They shrug their shoulders and say, well, we can't establish.
We spoke to dozens of officers across the country and found lawsuits in almost every state.
Women who work in one state prison say the danger they face came from their coworkers.
Alleging 4 officers who either sexually harassed her or who helped cover up the harassment.
Harassed for 2 years until it finally escalated to an attack.
He pulls out his taser, chases her down, and shocks her with it from behind.
As women have entered the workforce, there has been resentment on the part of men.
Reporting harassment can have repercussions.
Retaliation is far worse than the act itself.
When I filed my harassment paperwork, that's when the retaliation started, almost immediately.
They're making a statement that they won't support you, they won't be there when the inmates come at you.
I can choose not to hear you. I didn't hear her call for help. Prove that I did.
The ramifications from telling the truth has been nothing short of a nightmare for me. I reached the point that I didn't want to deal with this anymore. I had picked out the spot, the time. I was probably 20 minutes out from taking my life.